Virtual reality is here, and these are the terms you'll need to know to get your head wrapped around it. VR. Virtual reality replaces your existing view of the world with a new digital experience. AR. Augmented reality adds new visual or auditory layers to your existing reality. MR. Mixed reality creates a space where physical and digital objects can coexist and interact in real time together by mixing real and virtual environments. HMD. Head-mounted displays are your portal into these new realities. There are different types of tracking techniques that can be combined to map your physical movements in digital space. Rotational head tracking, positional head tracking, room scale tracking, eye tracking, and gestural tracking. IPD. Interpupillary distance is the space between the center of your pupils. Premium headsets allow you to change the distance of the lenses for a better image. FOV. Field of view is the angle of degrees in your visual field. The human eye FOV is about 200 degrees. Premium headsets are currently about 110 degrees. Higher FOVs give higher levels of immersion. Lag. Lag can happen if the refresh rate of the HMD screen is too low or latency is too high. If your eyes don't see what your brain thinks it should, this can cause nausea. An avatar. An avatar is the digital version of yourself for virtual spaces. They can be simple or even involve 3D scanning to be super lifelike. Social VR or the metaverse. Social VR or the metaverse is a shared collective virtual space where people from all over the world can interact. Haptics. Haptics add tactile feedback to your gaming experience. 360 video. 360 video is not the same as virtual reality. It allows the viewer to look around a spherical 360-degree video, transporting them into a new place or space. Unlike VR, these experiences are more passive and do not allow for moving around or interacting with the video environment. So what's next? Modern VR and AR have already begun to impact industries from video games and entertainment to medicine and warfare. As this tech continues to be refined, the lines between our physical reality and other constructed realities will continue to blur. Which begs the question, what's really real anyway?
At its most basic level, virtual reality is an experience generated by a computer meant to stand in for the physical reality around us. Computer scientist Jaron Lanier is often credited with coining the term virtual reality in the 1980s, but the discipline of VR is a collection of ideas that date back nearly a century. At the heart of virtual reality are two concepts: immersion and interaction. Let's break down what each one means. Immersion refers to your sense of presence within a virtual world. How real does it seem?
You have a fear of heights?
No, but I'm sure I'll develop one. We judge our experience through the information we gather through our senses. If that information is consistent, reliable, and convincing, our brains accept it as reality. And the more senses you can engage, the better. With virtual reality, we're usually talking about sight and sound. But some VR setups also engage our sense of touch in what's called haptic feedback. As for interactivity, that's all about to what extent you can affect the virtual world around you. Are you a passive audience, or can you interact with the objects, creatures, people, and environment? Generally speaking, the more interactive the experience, the more convincing it is. Both immersion and interaction create the illusion that you're in a different world. That illusion can be broken if the experience suffers from technical issues, lag, which we call latency in VR, or limitations in what you are allowed to do once you are in the VR world. One of the most common elements in VR rigs is the head-mounted display, or HMD. An HMD contains sensors, such as accelerometers and gyroscopes, to track movement and orientation. When you turn your head, the sensors track the movement, send the information to the VR software, which then determines the view you should see in the HMD's monitors. The whole thing has to happen very fast or you get a swimmy lag effect. This is one of the reasons some people feel motion sickness after experiencing VR for a few minutes. It wasn't until recently that computer processors became fast enough to limit lag to imperceptible levels. There are lots of options for VR sets out on the market today. Whether they are a success or regarded as just a passing fad remains to be seen. Perhaps one day we'll build something similar to what VR pioneer Ivan Sutherland described as the ultimate display in a 1965 paper. This hypothetical display would be a room in which a computer could generate everything you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. The computer would be able to create physical objects out of pure matter, creating the ultimate in virtual experiences. It sounds a lot like Star Trek's holodeck. The whole thing was a thought experiment. We'll probably never make anything quite that sophisticated. So for now, it's time to strap on the headset.